I think I say this like every single episode, but there's something so incredible about Your Turn to Die and how every time we boot up the game, we come back to the location we ended the last episode in. And it's almost an instantaneous, like, you're back. It grabs you by the arm and pulls you back in. Because just like in any good game, I always talk about how, like, locations are so important in games. The locations in Your Turn to Die are incredible. And they're so, like, instantly memorable. And I think it's because so much stuff has happened in the game that we tie different happenings to those locations. And that's, to me, like, you can might say that's a lot of games. I do think it's, like, a lot of good games, 110%. If you can look at a location in a game and go, I remember that this happened here. And that's like Your Turn to Die. With this, it's like, oh yeah, this is where we just found out about Miley, where we saw the tape. And when I go to the lounge area, I think of, like, that's where we had a nice discussion over food with Alice. You know, when I go to the relaxation room, I think of Gin outside playing in the trees. There's so many memories tied to locations. When I think of the bar, you think of, like, Joe sitting down there with his back turned to us. When you think of the blue room, you think of the people sitting in the chairs. You know, like, it's everything's, like, tied to, like, the locations, because, again, and that's important. And they realize this thing, too, because the locations always look really great as well. They knew that the locations were going to be just as much of a character in a way as the characters themselves, because you're going to be here all the freaking time. Did we explore everything in this room? By the way, my name is Calvin, also known as Romer, and this is my first ever playthrough of Your Turn to Die. Did we explore everything in here? Machine parts scattered around. I feel like these are similar materials to our collars. So yeah, this is where they kind of, like, possibly made the collars. It looks like a refrigerator. It won't open. The monitor isn't powered. The monitor is not powered. Machine parts are scattered about. I feel like I was clicking on the table. It was the same thing. There's a room over here. Behind the thick glass, I can see a figure that appears to be sleeping. KG, there's a person. Wait, in there right now? Not showing any signs of movement. Did they notice us? Did they not notice us? What is happening? Like, sorry guys, I literally, like, the worst time to ever, like, have to, like, you know, cut for a second. But there's someone freaking behind the glass? Can't imagine there'd be a new surviving participant at this point. Maybe. Who knows in this game? If they're an enemy, we better not let them realize we're here. That's terrifying. That's so scary. Well, it doesn't seem to be any way of getting at the other side anyhow. Let's leave quietly once we're done searching. Now, that's so scary though, right? Like, knowing that there's someone behind this glass right now, and the whole time we were here, there was someone behind the glass. I guess we just gotta go. We just gotta go. There's nothing here with this light now. The light is brightening up the room. Why did the light suddenly come on? Let's go. The door is shut fast. There's no handle. It probably can't be opened manually. So maybe we can open it through the computer, like a system, a glowing computer screen. Maybe the keyboard. Maybe check on Miley. The Miley doll is sitting down. Computer tower. Make sure not to knock this. Oh. No? I thought maybe. Wait, did we have to... Oh, okay, we already saw this as well. Yeah, we already saw the security footage. Oh, move. Yeah, we have to actually move. I always forget there's mechanics in this game that you have to use. So we have to go back to the pink room. Meow. Oh, Gin! That was... Gin? Oh my god, where are you, Gin? Yeah, call out to him. Where are you, Gin? Quiet, you're putting us in danger too, you know. What do you mean? He said meow. What should we do? I don't hear his voice anymore. The situation's changed. Think it's safety-wise, you should probably head back for... No? You want us to abandon Gin? I refuse to go. Yeah, that's not happening. I'm sorry, KJ, that's not happening. You're right. Let's look around, Sarah. So I wonder if that's just, like, KG, like, being very scared and nervous because, like, there's no way we could leave Gin behind. There's not a world in where we could leave Gin behind. I wonder. It probably was just a lot of fear. No more losing anybody. Exactly. 100%. Right. So, can we light this up and see if we can see Gin anywhere? There's nothing. Maybe he's in the cafeteria area as well. Eerie stuffed animals. There's nothing to show. So maybe we can go to the cafeteria. Man, yeah, like, and again, I do talk, like, as I say, we don't want to judge people just for, like, their actions and be like, oh, why would you stay here for Gin? Why wouldn't you stay here to look for Gin? Because we need to find out, like, how he's feeling in his headspace as well, because, as we said in this game already, people are acting in very weird ways, in different ways that you wouldn't usually hear them act, you know? Honestly. The hidden room, maybe? And I think that's, like, such an important detail about any part of this game. Oh. What's that? There's something on the bookshelf? Open victim disk F? Wait, do we put it into the computer? Victim disk F? Do we go back to the okay, 1 second here. Do we go back to the freaking Miley room and put this in the computer? Man. But yeah, as I said, like, everyone's actions are different. They're going to be different. Yes, let's check it out. We might as well write if there's something we can find out about this as well. But yeah, it's the same thing the way I didn't judge Guitaro for freaking pressing the switch, because that's different. I think it is different, but like, when you're worried about your safety or the safety of others and there's a panicking situation, people act in different ways. Yes, Kev? The computer began loading the video. I'm very worried about this. Help? Jesus, what the hell is this? Oh my god, the two guns? Why? Why does this have to happen? How could I possibly know which one is right? Who is this? The desperation on her face as well. She looks absolutely horrified. I can't do it. I can't fire these things. Wait, so is it a challenge where she has to like pick which gun is correct? Or which gun won't kill her? What? The collar is tightening. This is so brutal. Like, again, it's torture. It's absolute torture. Stop it. I can't breathe. I'll fire, so stop it. That is so brutal. Oh my freaking god. The video ends here. This is from the first trial too? It's just too cruel. How could you think up such a thing? So their first trial was pick the right gun? And I guess whoever maybe was probably with them got the other gun or something? They had to pick the... That's psychological torture. It's already like, you know, trying to... It's murder, right? It's murder, so like right away. Like there's no debate about that. It's murder, you know? And we don't do the whole stuff here as well on this channel. You know, the whole like bullcrap thing that they did with the whole... remember when Saw was a huge franchise and everyone was like, well, it's technically not murder. It's like, no, it's murder. That is murder. But also the psychological effects of that in that short amount of time. You're not thinking straight. Your mind is jumbled. Your heart is beating. You're terrified. She died terrified. I know it's a horrible thing to say, but she died terrified. I thought I knew entirely well that our enemies were practically demons. Of course. Even so, being shown this, can we escape from demons who make us do things like this? And that's the important thing. It's like these freaking demons. We'll escape them all right. Her dying regrets, and that's the thing. It's like what Sarah's saying is so true. It's like we always think that they're demons. We already know they're demons. As Miley held our faces, we were crying over what happened with Joe when she forced us, basically, or like tricked us into like, you know, punishing and torturing Joe even more. These guys are sadistic. They're evil. They're horrible. There's no way about it. But it just keeps getting more and more horrible. And no matter what, watching someone die is going to be like a really horrific and terrifying thing, right? It's going to affect you forever. Let's hope we can find Gin now as well. Oh, there's a key? There's something on the table? A key? This wasn't here before, was it? Maybe I shouldn't go touching it. Take the key. Where's it for? What's the tag say? Not good. Someone's come to from the central hall. We have to find Gin. We have to find Gin. Sorry, Sarah. Wait, what? KG picking me up under his arm and moving to the kitchen. He's not wrong, by the way. Sorry, I'm just thinking about Gin all the time. He's not wrong in a sense that, like, if we're caught as well, if we're hurt as well, Gin won't be saved either. He's not wrong in that sense. They're close to keep. Who is it, though? Yeah, no, I'm still thinking about Gin as well. The footsteps stop near the door? It's one's Miley. But who's the other one? Great artwork as usual. One of them is Miley? I can hear them talking quietly. Did you let them escape? I apologize? The key that was here is gone? Seriously, give it up. So we weren't supposed to get the key? Is Gin safe? Who could the other person be? Don't let Gashu have his way. Is Gashu it's Sato, right? Right? I think Gashu is the guy, the doll maker. He's trying to destroy the. It is him, isn't it? What? I understand. The monitor room should have a surveillance mode, correct? Connect the blue wire and keep a careful eye on Gashu. Why do you know about that? And one more thing. You must retrieve the chip in Ranger's head. So they're doing their own plan behind Gashu's back? That chip can destroy this place's security. It's a menace. But they said Gashu's trying to stop the death game or trying to impede the death game? Destroy the security. Please be quiet. If someone heard you, then things will get quite fun, I suppose. What is happening? So Miley's going behind Gashu's back here. Oh, and... What? The alarm? The Oh my freaking god, our tablets went off! Who's there? That's terrifying! It's so scary! That's so scary! In that moment as well, for our tablets to go off, we have to find Gin though. That was a close call. But Gin is still... It didn't look like those who had captured him at least. We heard Gin's voice still, right? Let's think about what we can do. That was so scary. And such a great horror moment as well. But they were talking about Gashu. Was that his name? I can double check as well, because again, like you guys know I'm like not the best at names sometimes. I'm really not. But I believe it was Gashu, right? Summarize that conversation 110%. Those two mentions very interesting things. Something about a chip in Ranger's head, plus the surveillance mode in the monitor room. I don't know what sort of functionality it has, but if you could watch the security cameras on all of the floors, sounds better than sneaking back into the first floor and getting caught. Okay, Sarah, let's roll. And yeah, maybe we can find Gin that way. Before that, just briefly, we should check our cards. 100%. Guys, that was such a masterful way of doing horror. Like, and to use something that we know will activate at certain times, it makes sense that it would activate. They told us it would activate whenever there was like a trade, right? That annoying noise here, your signal to trade, yeah. Someone's card must have gotten traded. Was it ours? So we're still Keymaster. Okay, we're still Key. So it was KG. The second trade was performed, or was it? Or I'm still Keymaster. Okay, we are still Keymaster. Okay. And I'm still a commoner. So it's between people other than us. Glad it didn't add any extra complications. Now let's go to the monitor room. Yeah, man. That means there's like not only just like a plot between where we have to like fight against like whatever this dark organization is. There seems to be sections within the organization that are also fighting as well. Infighting. Let me actually like double check right now what... Because it was Gashu. I'm so bad with names, guys. You know this already. Me with names in this playthrough has been horrible. You guys know this. Yeah, it was. Yeah, like I should go with my instincts as well. But it was Gashu Sato, who was the guy who was the doll maker. But they said that he's trying to destroy the game, and then Miley and whoever that was is working around Gashu as well. So there's like not only just like do we have to deal with the fact that there is like again the secret organization that's trying to like do this death game, but there's also people who are like infighting within the game as well. So I guess we should go to the monitor room. I just hope Gin's gonna be okay, man. I really do. Because if anything happens to him, like I'm gonna go crazy. Oh yeah, and a correction from previously. But the person who said that he was probably 5, I want to make this clear. Everyone makes mistakes. I got the information from you, but do not worry about it whatsoever. And I want to make that clear. This isn't me going like, why did someone give me misinformation? Everyone gets stuff wrong. I get stuff wrong. It happens. But Gin is like 12. He is a 12. I thought he was like 5. He's like 12, which is still, you know, it doesn't change the fact for me. It doesn't change anything for me. He's still a baby we have to protect. Like that's just the end of. He's still a child that we have to protect. It does not change anything. You know what I mean? So yeah. There's no change that is happening here. So is this the monitors we have to click on? One of the numerous monitors? A photo of Rico's displayed in the back. So maybe it's here we have to click? In front of the monitors is a machine that despite its complexity offers simple functions. What should I do? Defer to KG? Please handle this, KG. Can't refuse the request from you, Sarah. KG connected a blue wire on the floor to the computer. Whoa, and there it is. Do we see again? Man, there's even cameras in the bedroom. Like, here's the thing, I'm not surprised that they're being that invasive, right? Because they're horrible. But still, it's so invasive. This is a surveillance system. Is Gin on any of these? I'm trying to look. I don't know if we can... I can't see him anyway right now. No, I can't see any. The center monitor shows an empty bedroom. Something's odd about this bedroom. Is it the pillow on the chair or the TV? Was there a TV in our bedroom? What? What the freaking hell is that? Why is there a Mishima monitor here? What's going on? Yeah, why is the Mishima AI there? I made it back. Now, oh, did she? No, wait, did she somehow get the Mishima AI for herself? Is this really for the best? Why, what are you doing now? Indeed, well done, Miss Now. No. I'm glad your safety was ensured. But he'll... Professor, what should I do? Wait, did she trade something? Believe in me, Miss Now. For I was miraculously revived so that I could protect you. No, wait, what the frick is happening here? Did someone... Because Mishima, the real Mishima AI wouldn't, like... Because he's talking about the idea, like, it sounds like she traded with somebody, right? Because he said your safety was insured. The real Mishima would not, like, give her advice to, like, be underhanded or anything, right? Something is happening here. This as well, this doesn't sound like Mishima. Mishima would give you gentle advice and guide you towards the right decision, but he wouldn't just force you down or, like, say that you have to do what he says. Not that he's saying that, but you know what I mean? Right. Is this why Now was acting so, shaky? Now put on a smile. I'd like to see you cheery, Miss Now. Yes. Fantastic. What a good student to have indeed. Oh my god, what the... Who... I say who is controlling this because, like, this has to be someone's ulterior motive to use Mishima to, like... influence Now, right? What's going on? This isn't good. Now is acting strange. Yeah, 110%. Now is behaving strangely, isn't she? It looks like Mishima put her up to something, but that's saying Mishima wouldn't do that. That's what's so weird about it. Maybe that card trade earlier was now. That's what I'm thinking. 110% because he talked about her safety. But it takes 50 tokens to trade. Now shouldn't have very many, I thought. Then what in the world? Mishima just said he'd been revived. But wasn't he always just an AI that Reiko destroyed right here? Reiko has a good reason to destroy him and yet had a good reason to destroy him. Wonder if he's really the same. That's what I'm saying. If he would ask to be destroyed, why would he then be revived? Why would he be giving Now advice like in this way that seems very pushy and manipulative from what we saw there? Like, he wouldn't be directing traffic when, like, Mishima is not that type of character. He doesn't just, like, give people orders. He would gently push her into, like, a direction which would be best for her. That's his character. Only Now's room having a monitor is pretty suspect too. Yeah, it's like whoever did that was to influence Now directly. Maybe the Floor Master is plotting something. I mean, think of it this way. Miley gave us the notes, right? All the different names and all that stuff too. It wouldn't put past this game to give everyone an individual thing that they're hung up on. I wouldn't put it past him. No way. Now. Huh? Oh, it's still sparkling here as well. Do we check anything else for Gin? There's nothing of note on the bottom left monitor. She must be exhausted. There's nothing of note on the top left monitor. No Gin? The remains are still there? Jesus Christ. Someone's standing in front of the bedroom? Is it Gin? Kotaro. Is he talking with the owner of the room? We checked on the monitors, but Gin was nowhere to be found. I wonder, is Kotaro talking to So? The surveillance system is only for floor 3. Sure enough, Gin's still on floor 1. Somebody's coming. What? So it's probably just one of our own characters, right? But I guess they don't want us to... They don't want everyone else to know that they've been they know how to monitor everything? Oh, it's Gashu! Phew.
Oh dear. What are you two up to?
Sure are nosy. We're having a moment here.
Oh my. Pardon me then.
While you're here, though, tell me something. Are the AIs in all these monitors?
You are precisely right. Here are assembled AIs of all the candidates who cleared the first trial.
So everyone just cleared the first trial. Okay. Gotcha. You can go. We got a thing we got to get back to here, see? I love KG kind of being a bit forceful, like saying like, hey, shoo. Get out of here.
Yes, I shall leave you to it.
By the way, Mighty is out to get you, buddy. Miley's out to get you. Now what to do? We should recover Ranger's chip. Back to the first floor. I want to make sure that we save Gin. Gin is more important than the chip right now. And you guys are probably like, Calvin, like, get that chip. We should really get back to looking for Gin. There's no time for that. KG, there is time for that. I understand where he's coming from. This is a really important thing too. Like, we have to ensure this kid's safety. KG, they won't kill Gin. I don't care about that. Like, oh no, I do care about that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that, like, I'm saying it's not just about him dying. I don't want anyone touching him. I don't want anyone kidnapping him. So what you can do, KG, is you can go get the chip. I'll go get Gin. How about that? I was trying to think of who I could find to bring with me so we don't have to go alone. I said Alice in my mind because, like, Alice is that type of, like, caring character, but Alice is gone and actually, like, hurt me a little bit when I thought about it. Reiko's not in any right mind to really do much right now as well. Kana's working with So. So is working with, we can't bring So. Kataro's working with So. Now has the Mishima thing happening. Like, KG is, like, literally right now in this moment, in this game, at this moment in time, is, like, legitimately our best option. And I hope it doesn't sound like I'm saying that, like, just because, like, Reiko is sad, she's not useful, because I hate using the term useful for any real character or person. I just mean that, like, right now, I don't think she's in, like, the best state of mind, which is normal, right? Huh? I'm gradually coming to understand how our enemy operates. But let's believe in Gin. Dude, that's fine, but it's still the pit of my stomach. Even if here's the thing, even if he's not dead, if they put him in, like, a cage again, I'm going, like, that's upsetting to me. If they pinched him in the arm, that's upsetting. I don't care. He's not just a kid anymore. KG. By the time he comes back safe, we should have a escape plan to surprise him with. Here's the thing. I totally understand what you're saying. He's not wrong in saying that we have to prioritize getting out of here and, like, finding that chip and all this stuff too, 100%. But it doesn't stop my worries with the whole thing. Because here's the thing. We can say, like, oh, he's not just a kid anymore. Here's the problem. He's a 12-year-old. He is a kid. Regardless of what he's been through, regardless of what he's seen, he deserves and will get our protection. We should collect Ranger's chip. I know that, but alright, to the Room of Lies. And here's the thing, like, as I said, KG isn't wrong about the perspective that he has and that we have to get this as soon as possible, right? We have to, like, oh god, he's just standing there. We have to get that chip. We have to stop Miley from what she's trying to do as well, right? 110%. But I hope you guys also understand that when it comes to this stuff with, like, and here's the thing, it was the same thing if Kana was lost. We're going to save Kana. It was the same thing, and if Reiko was lost too, we tried to save Reiko too. But in this case, it is just a 12-year-old kid. And, like, we can say that, yes, he's seen a lot of stuff now. Yes, he's being more determined and all this stuff too. We do believe in him. But at the same time too, it still worries me as, like, crazy. And I think it's only normal. It's certainly within your options to spend some time together, you two. You two. What's the hurry? On a date. Get away from Sarah. You tell him. Don't even joke about that. Get away from me, Kai. You and me, let's explore. Let's explore now. This isn't the time for jokes. Yeah, me and Reiko are going to explore. You can stay here. I'll use her detective intuition. I'm guessing that's another mistranslation. That's my guess. That is my guess. I had them in Raincoat a lot too, where there would be a lot of scenes where, like, there was a particular scene I remember in Raincoat specifically. I love that game, but there was a specific scene in Raincoat where I remember I was like, I cut it out because I was like, man, what the hell is happening here? But then everyone informed me that it was, like, a really bad mistranslation. Which here's the thing, right? Like, I think like translations are usually used to like translate what's the best meaning behind something, but sometimes you can get it wrong. It happens, right? Which is why like I think like there's like if I'm not mistaken, Toby Fox, he oversees all translations of his games. I'm not saying this creator doesn't either, but they oversee every translation of the game to make sure everything like is spick and span. Because the thing is, like, no doubt about it, like, there could have been a possible outsourcing for the Raincode translation, and beyond the creator's hopes, the character intent of that moment changed as well. And again, I know he's joking. I want to make that clear. I know KG's joking. I know even in this moment here, it's not like he's being like serious, right? But I'm just saying, like, usually those things like the cute thing and all this stuff, I'm guessing it continues to be a mistranslation with his character, possibly. We're going to the room where the room of lies, right? Which was in the long stairs. Oh, Saflin.
Where are you two headed?
Just felt like telling some lies, so the room of lies.
You can't. Right now, you're not allowed.
Hold on, Saflin. You can't just decide that? Can you just decide that?
But you see, we can't leave the bodies there any longer. We need to hold a memorial service.
A memorial service? For real? No buts about it. Let's leave it for later, Sara. Understood. But like then wouldn't they just like get the chip like at that point then? So we might just go look for Gin then. I guess we're leaving it for later. That's fine. I mean, we don't want to like push our luck here as well with any character either, because it can be quite terrifying as well. Oh, gosh, she was gone, Miss Sara. Oh well, if it isn't so, the man himself, stylish as ever, great smile, but you can't trust him as far as you can throw him. What's happening, buddy?
You came at a good time.
So,
don't give me that displeased look. I just want to talk for a bit.
About what? About what?
Are you actually listening to me?
I mean, so here's the thing, like, there's no doubt about it, like, I'm starting to think your character, while not trustworthy and definitely is plotting 110%, I'm starting to believe also So does have, like, an inkling in him that has, like, some people's best interests in mind sometimes, but that doesn't change the fact that he is a little plotter and a schemer. Please be serious. That's right, this ain't no time, So. Oh, here's Mr. Works with So. Oh, and here's Mrs. Works with So. It's the trio.
Thank you very much, Sara.
So maybe they're all gonna like say something together then? Katara, Kana. Have three of them working together, they definitely have. Look at this crew. This is the Powerpuff Girls, really, if you look at it, you know? That's Bubbles. Blossom and Buttercup. This trio is crazy, by the way. It's like, if you think of it, like, this is like, you know, every, like, emo music circle, honestly. Yeah, we listen to emo. It's just, like, such a variation. Crazy stuff.
This is important. Will you listen?
I think, I think, yes. I am more intrigued than ever to find out what you guys have been up to be honest, like.
Thanks, Miss Sara. So on to business.
I want to reconcile? We've always been friends. I don't think we could say that. I don't understand. What do you mean by that? I don't understand.
We've quarreled a bunch, haven't we?
I think it's been the biggest one-sided beef in history. If I'm being real. I feel like you've always been provoking Sara a little bit. So I don't think you can call it. I think a quarrel would be between two people, right? Sarah's just been trying to get by while you've been kind of like poking and prodding. But then again, I genuinely believe that So thinks that we are actually plotting something as well. Like, I genuinely believe this, by the way. Like, that's my belief is that he thinks that we actually are bad sometimes.
But I realize, you know, it can't go on like this.
This is so sudden. After all their plotting and planning as well, what, he's just going to reconcile?
I mean, our real enemy is the kidnappers, right?
I mean, that would be ideal, So. That would be ideal.
That's true. I want to put an end to this ridiculous death game. I want us to escape. And of course, I mean all of us.
What a moving speech. KG said, fine speech.
I'm serious, KG.
Whoa, how we all share the laptop? Hold on a second though. Right. The reason why this is so weird is that it just happens like right after the cutscene of the three of them, like, devising a plan together and Kana saying that like no one else trusts her. Is this like all like some sort of like, 4D chess movies doing here? I want to be clear as well, like the game intentionally wants you not to trust So, right? That's the whole point of his character. He's an interesting like injection of like mystery and chaos into like a story. He is that. It's my bad for taking it from you, but in the end I couldn't see what was on it because the password had been changed. So that's how it is. That explains why you suddenly feel like joining up with us. Wait, so because the password is so we can't get into the computer anymore. That is genuinely so funny if that's the reason why you joined up with us. The password? Oh, come on, So. Look at this. If you were just like so much nicer, you literally look like you're like the definition of baby girl. Like, if you're just like, you know what I mean? Enough the bargaining. There isn't time. We have the password, so has the laptop. Reconciling means we share. I like Cage's attitude where it's like, it doesn't sound like he's saying like, yes, we're all gonna be sunshine and rainbows and best friends, but it's like, hey, it's probably best if we do check out what's on this laptop. Which I think is like, makes sense. I really do just want to reconcile, though. Well, whatever. Okay, as proof of our rebuilt friendship. Let's shake hands, Miss Sarah. Oh my freaking god. This is so hilarious. Like, the thing is, like they designed this character to be like the most like devious and mysterious character, but he looks adorable like 24/7 sometimes. Like look at this. This is like a walking marshmallow. This is cotton candy personified. If you didn't know any better, if I just showed you this frame, it's like, who do you think this is? Everyone who hasn't played this game will go, wow, that just looks like a sweetheart. Well, yeah, look, let's go. Why not? What's gonna do? Shaking hands. Okay. Oh, you... My freaking heart. Jesus Christ. So, of course, that's trying to show that there is still a bit of an intent here that he doesn't feel like we're totally reconciled. Or maybe it's like underhanded. Who could have guessed? Or maybe it's just we're feeling some sort of intent from him. What was that? Here, Connie, you make a good with Miss Sarah too. This is weird, right? It's already weird at the baseline, but like the whole thing of like you shake hands too now. Yeah, like at this point, it's like what? Like, does this actually decide something? Because like I'd shake hands with anyone, like, if it meant we can get this laptop and save people's lives. I'm just saying, like, and also as well, I don't hate Kana. I never did. Give me your hand. I gently grabbed Kana. She thinks we hate her. I never hated her. Never. There's no problem with me. Like, I'll give you a hug as well. Kana? Betrayed you again and again. Kana, listen to me. We are all trapped in a death game. You could betray me 5 times and I will listen. Alright? Everyone does crazy things in here. I vowed to make sure you were safe and I will continue to do that. Regardless of what side you're on. Stop it, Kana. We're friends. Sarah. And me? Here you go. Well, thanks. What, they all did? This is how Sarah's just really popular. They all want to shake Sarah's hand. Yo, Sarah, Kana, I've been watching you guys. There you go. Just before we move on from this as well, like it is such a powerful story for Kana to have twice now have gone behind people's backs. The second time being something that was very emotionally strong for her as well, which is the idea of like hearing from her sister again. It's a very powerful story because on the baseline, everyone can understand how she feels. Not in terms of like losing your sister to a death game. I'm talking about the idea of like, feeling like you let people down and feeling like you'll never be able to reconcile that. At some level, we all feel this way. Whether it be like something like we said something that we regret. or said something mean in some ways. We all have this thing where we can like, we know what it feels like to feel like people might hate us or people might not like us. So on the base level, we have that feeling, and then you have to multiply by 2,000 for Kana here. I never hated Kana. Never. Even after the last quote unquote betrayal with the laptop and stuff, I guess, as well, on the phone. That doesn't, it was your sister. It was your sister. Jesus Christ. What else would people do in that situation? I don't know what happened, but if there's no ill feelings, then great. Reiko just seems so different, doesn't she? Yes. Reiko, will you look at it with us? At Kai's laptop? Can I? Of course. Hopefully this makes Connor realize that Sara doesn't hate her and that she doesn't have to align herself with Soul all the time. Hopefully. Okay, then I'm turning it on. Whoa, it's open. If there are any clues, we can use them to escape in here. Oh, we actually click on the stuff? So what's this say? Danganronpa 1 and 2. Oh, wow. Tamagotchi Life ROM? Okay. Google Doc of top 10 dating sims? Nice. Call of Duty. That's probably the most, yeah, okay. Basic one here, I guess. That's, okay. This one's a bit weird. It's literally just named my favorite kind of hands. Okay, let's click on all this stuff, I guess. Sarah's favorite things. Sarah's taste. Let's read it. Sure. Did Kai make this file himself? This is crazy. Miss Sarah's favorite things. Sweets edition. Strawberry jam, jam and journal, which is lovely. I do like jam. Mashed sweet potatoes with chestnuts. Whoa. Koshin toast. He's right in the money. Nothing but paste, sir. Taste notes. Miss Sarah eats well with a balanced diet. She especially likes sweet things. I'm happy to understand her just one bit more. It goes on like this. So Kai was Sarah's stalker? Now that I think about it, there's always been something paste-like at the dinner table. Wait, because he knew we liked it? The thing is, well, this is the problem, as we said before. The reason why, like, Kai was clear to me. My whole idea of what Kai is the type of character who clearly was so grateful to Sarah's. This music's great, by the way. So grateful to Sarah's dad that he was willing to do absolutely anything that he said. So when he said protect Sara, he made it his life mission to find out everything about her, watch over her, protect her, all this stuff as well. So here's the thing, there's no doubt in my mind, guys, this type of stuff of like keeping a doc on someone and what they like and their food taste and all this stuff, strange as heck, right? But I'm also thinking of the context of like what his mental state was and him trying to find out everything about Sara was from the perspective of I want to make sure that I follow through on this task that was given to me by this person that is like welcomed me into the family. It's like a psychological thing of like I'm going to like the ends of the earth to do this. If Sara feels weirded out by this, you know what I mean? That's more than valid. Even if you find out he's not a stalker, right? Even if she knows that he's not a stalker and all this stuff as well, right? Even if, like, you know, he was watching over and protect her. If she said that doc is weird of the food I like, that is totally valid. It's totally valid. A file named Backdoor Smut. I'm okay. Here's the thing, guys. I have no problem, right? Me personally. I'm not saying I have no problem reading this stuff. I'm like, I'll read it all the time. I'm saying I'm not gonna like shame anyone for like what they put on their computer, like the like whatever, like, you know, fan fiction or whatever type of stuff they put on their stuff. You're like, you know, 110%, right? But for me personally, Sarah's here, Kana's here. There's people who haven't consented to reading this either. They're all gathered on the laptop. I'm very not comfortable with like having both them read it, you know what I mean? And also people, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, again, not judging Kai for having like a bit of freaking like written sexual stuff on the freaking computer. Like that's his prerogative, right? That's his life. He can do whatever he wants. But it's a thing where I'm like, you know, it's like everyone around here hasn't really consented to it. And also Sara is a high school kid. Kana is a kid as well. It's just, I don't feel the need to. To Miss Sara, okay, please don't be too weird. Hello, Miss Sarah. I am Kai. I'm truly sorry you had to get involved in such an incident as this. This is written during the death game? Miss Sarah, if you're reading this, there's something I want to tell you. I, Kai Sato, was an agent belonging to a certain vile organization, so he was an agent. In addition, I was raised as an assassin. Whoa. An assassin. However, I could not carry out the assassination orders I was issued in my youth. I could not kill another human being. My father was disappointed in me and my standing in the organization was low. Then one day I was appointed to a certain task. It was to guard and carry for you from the shadows, which again, she's about to find out, I guess, the full breadth of this now. Holy hell, man, so he's like a failed assassin in some ways. I say this, but it was not a task I held in high regard at first. Not until the plans for the death game were beginning to approach a reality. So it's one of those things where, like, at first he was like, okay, this isn't that big of a deal. But I guess, like, then I guess, like, it's one of those things where, like, oh, no, because the dad let him know. Yeah, okay, so I think it still does count as dad's. Yeah, because I think he still was trying to do something for the dad. 110%. Yep, 110%. Yep. I myself did not know what the death game's objective. However, while this is merely my impression, Miss Sarah, is it possible that this is all revolving around you? Which, by the way, we saw that with the freaking guy, like, he was talking about us with the guy who died in the computer screen. And then our dad said we had a destiny involved with this also. We are definitely related to this death game in some way, shape, or form. We definitely are. Once again, of course, I do also believe that you are merely a victim, Miss Sarah, 110% as well. Yes, 110%. I love that he said this, because this is so good to say too. Because obviously people are going to be suspicious of Sarah, of course. But, like, it doesn't matter how closely tied she is to this, she's a victim also. Man, so he's an assassin. He knows that we're tied to this, by the way. So there is something that ties us to this. Still, the organization needs you. So they need us. And they will take any means necessary. So that's why we need to be protected, because no matter what, they were taking us. They were going to try and take us. The organization's name is Asunaru. It's a secret organization possessing superb technology in multitude of fields. Asunaru. So we have a name as well. We're learning so much from this. Asunaru? You startled me. What's the matter? That's the same name. What? It's also Kataro's. What in the world is even happening here? How? Settle down. Let's keep reading. So it's like tied to his orphanage as well. The death game is not for pleasure nor revenge. The organization is an inevitable mission. That is what my father believed. It's inevitable? So it has to happen? His father. The organization drove my father mad. There may come a time we must confront him. Is it Gashu? At that time, there it is. Oh my god, it's confirmed. Gashu Sato is Kai's dad. Jesus Christ, man. They just dropped so much, like, confirmation and new information on us. Please defeat my father, so he wants us to defeat his dad. Gashu. I've collected all the data I've researched in the Sara folder, and if I'm already dead, please make use of it. The password is your mother's name. I hope it be of some use. I pray we will not be swallowed up by the whirlpool pool of deception and slaughter. Please survive, even if you must be alone. Even if it must be you alone. He desperately wants to survive as well. Man, the information dropped here. Holy hell. The message ends here. Kai, we're all working together now. Oh, she said that in kind of ways like, hey, Kai, don't worry, we're all together now as well. What the hell? So we have Sara is tied to this game somehow. They need her to be in this game. The organization's methods and their intentions are inevitable in their eyes. Gashu Sato has gone mad and he wants us to defeat Gashu Sato, which is Kai's dad. The name Asunaru is also tied to Kataro's orphanage for when he was a child. And Kai used to be an assassin that wasn't a fan of his, like, original job. This, to me, is like a big drop. A massive drop of information. Because if they say Sara, like, first of all, the intentions are inevitable. Or what they're trying to do is inevitable. So they're saying whatever it is, we have to do it. It just has to happen. But not only, like, is it inevitable, Sarah's involvement in this is needed. So they no matter what, they have to have Sara involved in this. Sara has to be here. no matter what, come hell or high water, they were going to get Sarah involved in this.
Huh?
Weren't you on about that, saying Sarah, Kai, and Joe were the mass? Oh my god! Yeah, well, he did say that during the first. It's not maybe not even just a secret thing that he said to Guitar, because he was thinking that it could have been them, right?
Well, that was just a little tit for tat. I wasn't exactly calm at the time. Tit for tat?
She called you a liar because you lied. That's not tit for tat. Well, in his eyes, it was tit for tat. At the time when he was getting accused of lying, which he did lie, he was like, "Oh, I'll push it back on you." That's a really warped view. So no, we have to be honest. That's a warped view.
Hey, what the hell? I may have accused you of being a mastermind of an entire death game, but you didn't let me lie.
You know, it's like, I don't know. I don't think it's tit for tat. But again, in his mind, it might be.
Sorry, Miss Sarah. Glad we could reconcile.
So it's interesting that Guitar said doesn't that kind of clear their names, because I wonder if like Kana and Guitar here working with So, they're kind of probably maybe hoping and praying that like it ends up like good, right? Because clearly So does think that we are somehow involved in this. He clearly thinks that we have some sort of intention, maybe like, because he saw that vision of us like nearly stabbing with a knife. He definitely thinks we're like involved in this somehow. So I'm wondering if Kana and Kataru are like hoping and praying we can like something this would happen, which would like make it seem like Sarah actually was involved in this. You know? Man. So a lot of information there. I don't know if So fully believes that we're not the mastermind yet, but hopefully the reconciliation lasts a bit longer at the very least. Let's check what this is as well. And a lot of information dropped there, guys. Just so much information dropped there. A file named Order 59. There's a picture of us there as well, so let's read it. Kai, the Death Game project is finally taking on tinges of reality. At last, your time has come to be useful to the organization. Guard Sarah Jidwin until the planned day and ensure she remains healthy. As much as possible, keep an eye out for her close friends Joe, Tazuna, and Ryoko. We know Ryoko was the one who, like, Joe and Ryoko were like ride or die for Sarah. They would do anything for her. We can't add anyone else, understood? Wait, so were they planning on adding Ryoko? Is it maybe? Even Joe and my best friend Ryoko are mentioned here. Is Joe not also your best friend? The file contains investigative reports on photos of Joe and Ryoko. Oh, that's scary, isn't it? Don't tell me it was a plan for Ryoko to get... I think that's what they're saying. Ryoko was possibly planned to get involved in this too, but somehow she escaped it. So yeah, that makes sense. So Kai was obviously looking out for us for the organization as well. That's probably who... We knew he had so much access like to this stuff with the organization as well. Is this Kai? Sato Kai. He's a bit younger here because his hair is shorter for sure. Kai, good work guarding the Shidoween family. It seems that Shidoween's have been looking for assistance as of late. This is a good time, and Kai, get them to employ you. And oh, I wonder if it was the fact that like originally he was supposed to just slip in and infiltrate the family, but actually, the dad started to treat him as like one of his own and one of his own family. I wonder if that like changed Kai's perspective completely. Oh, look at like baby Kai here. The organization has prepared the necessary documents that are all kept in this file. This is actually stylish hair for Kai here. It's a forged resume. The photo should be authentic at least, though it seems to be pretty old. I knew we had an assistant when I was a kid, but they only worked for a while while I was at school, so I never saw them around. So he's been there for a while then. He's been there for a long while, which makes sense because they've been planning this whole thing for a very long time. Was Kai really there at my house? Possibly. I mean, we know for sure he was. And that's why they became like so, I think he became so attached. I think he probably like, you know, fell in love with the love that was given him from, you know, the family. For sure. The folder named Sara. It's locked with a password. The password is my mother's name. I slowly typed in my mother's name. Oh my god. Let's see what happens here. It opened up. Oh man, 2 more files as well. To Miss Sara, of course. A personal thank you. That's interesting. Hello, this is Kai. Apologies, but this message has absolutely nothing to do with the death game. Miss Sara, I wish to express my personal gratitude as Kai Sato. I owe a great deal to the Shidoween family. That's what I was thinking as well. He became like a part of the family.
Your father hired me as an assistant to help out with his job and housework. Of course, it was also a job for the organization to keep watch of you. At first, I felt disgusted with your father, who treated me as if I was family. I was trained as an agent from a young age. I never experienced anything such as affection.
Stop. I think we kind of were all along those lines of what was happening here, right? For sure. He fell in love with the love that was given him from the family.
I was afraid that I might be changing, like from something cold to something warmer, but over time I came to want to protect your family. I wish to see you grow to maturity with my own eyes. For the first time, I had reason to live. So also, like, by the way, that means the food that Sarah liked be ending up at the table is just literally him just putting the food on the table, literally. A reason to live is so beautiful, by the way. A reason to live is such a beautiful thing to say. Because again, that's the thing. If we said that, I truly believe that her father gave him something that he never had before. I'm truly glad I could meet the Chidowins. That's actually a really beautiful idea, though. Thank you very much, Miss Sarah. Like, the fact that he's grateful to Sarah as well because he wants to be grateful to the family. He never had this. He never had this life. He never had this joy. But he's been given this joy now from the Chidowin family. And he's so grateful for it. For giving him a new life. Kai. Like, and it hits your heart a lot as well because, like here's the thing. Like, let's be honest here now as well. As we said that Kai was a victim of these situations as well and all this stuff too, right? Beforehand, we said that, you know, I think Sarah's dad was like a bit of a fool for like letting Kai like be perceived as a stalker, right? Technically, like, he was like a hired like private detective at the very least to spy on Sarah originally. This is factual, right? But I feel like it's always like, you know, different in terms of a context of a story versus a stalker, obviously. In this sense, he was like being very invasive with the family. He was. But I think you guys would agree when it comes to this type of stuff, because this was not only like a thing that like happens in like this story. This is a thing that's happened in like previous stories, and like I think in aspects of real life too, where they would like get kids, train them for a very young age, and they become spies or members of the army or like, you know, watchful eyes around like cities and things like this too. And in this case, it's like one of those things where like he was clearly from a young age brought up to be a spy, and the first time he got affection and love, he fought it and resisted and he changed. To me, like, at that point, I would say Kai is also a victim of these situations. It doesn't change the fact that, like, obviously, like, it's so invasive what happened to Sarah and the family. But we have to, like, see it as, like, if you're teaching a kid from a very young age to be brought up to be an assassin and a spy, the real villain here are the people that trained the kid. In my view. That's the real villain in this entire situation. Just like in this game, it's like, can I truly blame any character for being rude to me? Or is it just a situation involved that's been handed down from these bastards on the top? Background check file. Important background check file? Yes, there's some green hair there. Hello, this is Kai. I was able to use an old ID to successfully access a very small section of the organization's database. Oh, data pertaining to participants in death games. This should be really interesting. Unfortunately, data is the most on most of the participants was protected in such a way I could not extract it, but there was one man in particular for which the protection was removed. It appears his file was at one time deleted. For some reason or another, it was restored. Who the hell is this? Is that the same scarf as So? It is! So, that's your scarf! This guy's... What's the matter? Wait, what's happening? Everyone's acting strange. Do y'all know this person? The scarf is very So, right? But it's a different tint of hair as well, though. Sorry, I gotta use the So, stay here, buddy. I do not even know his name. However, there is only one reason the organization would delete his file on someone. Death. Wait. So, is that why why is everyone reacting this way though? So this person died.
Everyone's reacting in a weird way. He has the same scarf as So. If he passed away before the death game, and his file is then restored, perhaps that means he was What? What? How do you revive? Hold on. I know I've seen this guy somewhere or another, but why can't I remember? You neither? Kinda think so too, but you can't remember anything. Does anyone know this guy's name? Ah. He's wearing this. He is. Yes, he is. This is so creepy. And the sprite is really creepy too. I couldn't have solved the riddle concerning him. And there's one more curious aspect. There should have been 20 participants in the death game, but there were not enough files for everyone. My supposition is that... Oh no, wait, what just happened? Right, no, read the rest of it. Read the rest of it. That sound. There's been a trade. Please read the rest of it. But this ain't the time for that. Someone who isn't present initiated a trade. Focus on the laptop. Guys, the info of the laptop is more important than our cards right now. Kitaro, we can look at any time. You guys look and I'll look at the laptop. We have to keep reading this. Kitaro and the others start up their tablets. Fine. We'll just have to check our cards first then. I just don't... Let's put up the tablet. We're still Keymaster, okay. But who traded then? Where did the trade come from? Back to the laptop. Oh no, we got to trade. Holy freaking hell. This is the worst thing we want. We didn't want this at all. This is the last freaking thing we wanted. How do we do this then? Because like, if we survive, only one other person survives. Oh my freaking god, this is the worst. Yeah, it's the worst possible thing that could have happened. It's the one thing we didn't want. How are we going to deal with this? Sacrifice? The third trade has just been performed. There's no mistaking it. Someone traded cards with me. And all the things they pushed on me, the sacrifice. Inconceivable. I mean, I'm fighting for everyone's... Oh, Sarah, look at her eyes as well. I'm suffocating. Oh no, Sarah. Huh? I can't breathe right. Oh, that's such a terrifying image. What's the matter, Sarah? How does it feel to have my card? Oh, and it's like, oh my god, it's like relating it to the idea of the card that Joe had as well. Calm down right now, the laptop. No worries, it's not like that card means you definitely die, you know. No, but it means that either we die and everyone else either we die and one other person survives, or like, this image is so terrifying, or everyone survives and we die. It means either we survive and only one other person survives, or everyone else dies. The laptop. Of course you did kill, but don't think this way. And there's nothing to stop her from thinking this way, but this is so terrifying. Someone please break her out of it. Thank you, KG. Thank you. Feel a touch on my shoulders. It's warm. But the hallucination won't go away. This is so freaking scary and horrible to think about as well. I need to... Oh, and she's panicking as well. Of course you will be panicking in this situation. But I don't have 50 tokens. What should I do? I can't borrow from anyone. I have to think. That's right, the Room of Lies? Oh my god, this is how desperate we've gotten as well. My body... Is she literally running there, not caring about anyone watching? I started running. Oh my god. And again, look, they're showing like an imperfect character here as Sarah. You know what I mean? She's not thinking straight. She's willing to go and find the dead body of Alice here. I feel so sick. Alice's body's completely cleaned up. They said they were going to do this right. They said they were going to do a memorial service, actually. You're kidding. this just like felt like something dropped at the pit of my stomach. Because again, it's so realistic and dark to have her as a character try anything to get out of the situation. Because again, it's like in other games you would have like the heroic character be like, I can do this. I have to just find a way to get around this. But in this case, it's like it's again, you die and one other person survives. Everybody else survives and you die. It's one of the most horrible positions to be in. And she also related to the idea of Joe. She rushed to the scene here, not thinking about the moral implications of like what anyone's going to think. She even said it, I don't care what anyone thinks. I'm trying to just get these tokens. Why no? Now I'm going to... What do I do? Miss Sara? Safflin. I just finished cleaning. Of course, I also carefully transported the bodies. I've never had a choice in the game pop up and just instantly make me feel terrible. Here's the truth. I don't want to do the Trick Safflin thing. Because I believe that this is like... And you can say, well, Calvin, it's about Sarah's survival 110%. But like, she's not in the right space of mind whatsoever. Whatsoever, she's not in the right space in mind right now. She's not in the right frame of mind. She's not thinking straight. I feel like sending her down another path of like this trickery and lies and all this stuff too is just sending her down a worse path. I don't know. I know it sounds weird because like it, but I'm gonna give up on the tokens. I didn't mean it like that. I meant it like I don't want her to like follow this path of like she's. Which again, I want to make it clear. It's understandable and so realistic that they have her character be this, but it's just like have her desperately asking what, like ask for the dead body's tokens. Oh no. A kidnapper worrying for me? Oh, we've never seen this sprite before, her covering her face. Safflin, is it fun? Toying with us using nonsense like tokens and clear chips? Oh my, yeah, she's breaking. And the thing is, like, how could you not? Like, how could you freaking not in these situations? And once we grasp hope, you take it away and kill us. How must you feel about it, to be able to do those things like this? Well, our lives must be so puny. Oh my god, Sara. When we die, do you even collect all the tokens we earned? Alice didn't have any tokens. Somebody else already took the tokens. Somebody else already took the tokens. I'm busy, so if you excuse me, because Alice was not last. Alice was not last when it came to the token. It was Gin who had no tokens, right? And it was me now and Reiko had the least amount in the last three before Gin. Somebody took those tokens. That moment there for Sara, though, as well, as you said, guttural and real. Dark and real. Like, she's not this character who's always going to be like, I'm the hero of this story. I'm going to do everything. Wait, she had this moment of like, I'm trying to help everybody as like this kind of like protagonist, right? I'm helping everybody and still someone trades a sacrifice card with me. And I think it's such a brutally honest way of looking at having Sara be like, me. Not like, oh, I guess that's the game. No, me. I am doing everything for everybody. I'm trying to protect Gin. I'm trying to protect Kana. I reconcile with these characters. All this stuff. I'm constantly trying to do what's best for everybody. And me, they try to sacrifice. Me, they give the worst card to. Not anyone else. Me. It's such a real moment. I never heard her break in front of Safflin, saying probably what she feels deep down, but obviously, like, you know, hasn't been able to say it properly. How this is like, oh, do you think we're puny? We think we're nothing? And now we find out someone might have taken the tokens. Alice did have tokens. That's impossible. Alice was one of the high places for tokens. Did someone do this to trap me? Oh my god, she's this is so horrible because again, the tokens brought it, the sacrifice card brought it all the way back to Joe again. I can't muster the energy to think about anything anymore. In the end, I guess you weren't seriously thinking you could escape either, huh? Is that so? Just the hunch I got. You find hope for everyone else because those without hope die. Is that how you thought? We're gonna resist him as much as possible. That's wrong, Joe. I was the one who needed hope. As long as I'm looking forward, I can look away from the reality of killing you. But the future waiting once I return can only imagine it. I can only imagine as pitch black. What says, sir? You wanted to die that bad? No. Maybe so somewhere. Oh no, I didn't mean it like that. I did not mean it like that. Oh Jesus! I did not mean it like that whatsoever. Finally, Joe. Finally, I won't have to run for you doors. Please, someone step in. Please, someone find her right now. Please. Oh my God! It's Gin. Stay with the. He knocked us out. It's the last time too. Oh my God, Gin. Big Joe isn't here. Don't give him any attention to anything weird. Oh my God, what a hero moment for Gin here. Why are you here, Gin? Why am I here? So I can cheer Big Sis Sara up, obviously. Oh. Oh, Gin. He didn't even question it. He's like, why am I here? To cheer you up. He didn't even question it. He didn't even give a different explanation. Why am I here? To cheer you up. And that's his reasoning. That's his basic reasoning why he's here. Oh my God. Please come back to your senses. Believe in the real Joe. The real Joe. This kid, man. Holy crap. Believe in Joe? You're not the only one who couldn't do anything. Me and all of us. What the hell? Where'd they find this kid? Where'd they find him? We've regretted. We suffered. Oh, poor kid. And yet Big Bro Joe put on this... Big Bro Joe, what the fuck? Put on a smile at the end. And everybody else who died, they were thinking of the ones who'd be left till the very end. So I'm sure what he really wants is for everyone to get home alive. That's why you have to believe in the real Joe. And that's the perspective she needs. Oh my God, this kid. What the hell? His parents must be the proudest parents in the freaking world. Like, Jesus Christ. That's such a poignant and important thing to say, the real Joe. The real Joe wouldn't want you to suffer. The real Joe. Think about the real Joe. When has Joe ever wanted to... The Joe that said he would punch someone in the face for upsetting you? I don't know. I feel like I've lost sight of him already. That guy was always by my side. Do I have the courage to face him head on? Do we just have to face him? What a beautiful scene from Gin there. To step up like that. And like, again, like, he is like... I said this before, like unintentionally so he became the rock in this world for Sara. Can I confront the hallucination? Yes, let's go. You aren't Joe. I need to push aside the evil clutches reaching for me. Wait, no, it's a minigame? Oh God. Oh my God, it's a minigame. Oh no. No. I didn't expect this. I did not expect this. Oh no, I didn't expect this. I might have to reload. No, I have to reload. No, I wasn't expecting it. I was using my controller. No, I'm gonna have to reload so fast. So, people were telling me to save, but I thought it was just for the mini games. We're gonna have to load back so far. That is rough. You're already broken. Stay with us, Big Sis Sara. Big Sis Sara. Oh my God, I wasn't expecting it. You guys told me to save a lot, and I genuinely thought you guys just meant like the past episodes. No. What, there's mini episodes? There's bonus stories? Okay, I don't want to look at it just in case it's spoilers, but there's bonus stories? Okay. Okay, I'm gonna have to get back to where I was, guys. It'll take a bit of time, but I'll get back there. Jesus, man, I wasn't expecting it, because I was like, holy hell, you know? I wasn't expecting it. You can save right here, by the way. And I think for now on, I might just have to use the mouse through the whole time, even though it's not totally comfortable for me. Or just save whenever they give us a chance to save is the best option. If they give us a chance to save, it's probably going to be something serious, right? So I'll know that in future, but let's try our best. Not that I'm going to do any better here, by the way. But at least we might do better with the mouse here. I mean, we're already doing better, aren't we? Yeah, we might do better. It's just, a point-and-click adventure being better with a mouse. Who would have thought? What do you mean a point-and-click adventure is easier with a mouse? What do you mean a point-and-click adventure is easier with a point-and-a-clicker? The visual of this as well, by the way, is actually really well done, because that's what's been this whole time. It's him having his clutches or this fake Joe, right? Because again, what Gin said is so important. The real Joe would never want us to suffer. You're already broken. It's impossible to get rid of me for good. See you later. That's so terrifying. Oh, Gin, big sis, look at his eyes, Gin. Gin, thank you. I'd forgotten something important. You back to normal, woof? Let's all return alive together. I won't let anyone else's lives be lost. Oh my god. The motivation after being so down. Right? The brutality of how horrible that situation was for her to come out on the other side like this. Gin is a saint. I won't let the kidnappers have their way. Yeah, I'll look at the blush as well. I'm brimming with energy. It's more than just my life. To protect everyone, I'll move forward 110%. And I think having a kid be hug you and be like, don't believe, and say something so poignant as well. Obviously, it's gonna wake up a little bit too, because Gin is one of the people we have to protect also. Big sis Sara, let's go. Woof. We have Gin with us now. What's his power? Oh my god, the cat size? No freaking way. We have Gin with us now, guys. We're gonna end the video here. But this was another, really, in my view, fantastic episode of Your Turn to Die. Not saying my episodes are great, my episode, I'm saying the actual section I played is really fantastic. I think Your Turn to Die is, as we said, it's such a brutal story. It's such a really, scary story. But constant revelations, really terrific emotional moments, scary moments, tension-filled horror-style moments, more horrific moments. It's all rolled into one when it comes to Your Turn to Die. We saw another tape of someone else, another challenge that someone had to take, which seemed to me, my perception of the challenge was, which, by the way, not much of a challenge, right? One of these guns it will kill you. You know what I mean? It's just a 50-50 chance. That's all. That's all it is. And 50% chance you could die. Terrifying. The trauma that gal felt. But it's not only that, but it puts into perspective how, once again, how horrific these games are. How horrible the situation we're in. We don't only know what horrible is, but how horrible it truly is, because it's not just us who are dying or people we know. It's people who are in this game that we don't know who have died as well. We look to the kitchen where we hid in the kitchen. We're looking for Gin all around. That scene where we were hiding from Miley. Two things. First of all, it adds another conspiracy to the story too. They are whoever was that was with Miley, they seem to be against Gashu. And now that we know Miley isn't a doll, I think it would make sense why they wouldn't be controlled by Gashu. And it might be the same for Saflin as well. It seems that they may be just colleagues, while Ranger seemed to be one of the dolls that was working for Gashu. But she said that Gashu wants to destroy the game. Which again adds another this whole story where it's there's infighting within the organization. There's people within the organization that maybe don't agree with the death games anymore. But I'm just saying Gashu seems pretty determined to keep these games going in some ways. But maybe it's also what Kai said in the email later on, or the letter later on, which is that his dad, which might be his dad. No, he said he confirmed it's his dad. Has gone mad. But then Miley says right now he's trying to destroy the death game. Maybe that's after he killed Ranger. They saw it like that. I don't know.
But there is like a lot of like mystery. There's infighting. It's not just us who like are trying to go against this organization. There's within the organization themselves. There's like clearly people who are fighting within each other too. Great horror moment, by the way, with that iPad going off. Because they set that up as something that is very loud. That's like instantly kind of scary. And when it went off, like we instantly were just like, oh my God, like this is like, we're going to get noticed. You know, and that to me is like such a specific great horror thing to set up something beforehand. Like it's like when someone always has a pager on them at the start of the horror movie and everyone's like, dude, you have a freaking pager, bro? Like it's 2025. It's like, yeah, but this pager, man, like it's better than like having all these like, you know, like having like Google track you, you know, something like that, you know? And then like, I'm trying to come up with a character here. I'm not saying like, you know, I use a pager because people are tracking me. I have a phone. I have technology all around me. Do not worry, guys. I'm not, don't go off on a tangent. I'm saying I'm not a conspiracy nut, but also at the same time too, it's like obviously like companies in some ways do track your data, of course, 100%. That's just factual, right? But I'm saying that like, I'm coming up with a character who is like so paranoid about that he uses a pager. I want to make that clear. I don't want to make it seem like I'm like doing that. Or I'm like, I would use a pager because, you know, like, and I have a tinfoil hat or whatever. But no, and then like later on in the movie, like they're hiding from a killer and then the pager goes off. And it's like a setup, like this is what we know the iPads go off in random times whenever there's a trade. Which means at that moment when that trade happened, from what we think was now, we had this great horror moment where we have to run in that situation too. Which, by the way, speaking of now, we know that now has a AI of Mishima within her bedroom. And I wonder when that happened. I wonder if it was after the smashing of the monitor. The only thing is that it seems very manipulative because the Mishima would not be talking the way he does to her as well. Because like Mishima, the type of Mishima character Mishima was, Mishima would direct now to like a proper, like the right path or the best path for her. Whereas this Mishima very clearly to me was like trying to be like a bit manipulative. Which doesn't seem like the way that, like, and by the way, it's very, like, apparent here as well that whoever set that up, it was specifically for now, because we don't have one of those in our room. But I also thought that maybe it could have been, like, the people who organized this whole thing as well, because in our room, we were given the notes. So I wonder if everyone's given something, like, maybe different or something that makes them feel, like, something that changes their version of the game, right, and their perception of the game. For now, it's Mishima. For us, we have these notes here as well. I wonder if everyone gets like something. Maybe not everyone, but like I wouldn't put past the organization to organize something like this as well. And the thing that's kind of sad about it as well is that we don't know the full story. But now was doing better. You know, she was doing way better. And then all of a sudden, it feels like she's kind of reverting back to like, you know, listening to this AI Mishima. Because here's the thing. I think the reason why she did so well and was doing better is because with the original AI Mishima was kind of like being like Mishima. Was kind of like, hey, yeah, move on with your life. Everything's G, everything's cool. Whereas the new Mishima is kind of like, I don't know, it seems like from what they said, he made her make a trade with somebody else, which would hurt that person specifically. Because it said like, you know, like something about hurting them or something like that as well. It just doesn't seem like that at Mishima as well. Someone is behind the strings is trying to manipulate now through Mishima as well, 110%. The reconciliation, man, as well, between So, Kana, and Kotaro. And this is such an interesting and kind of like weird and like really unnerving dynamic between these three characters, because I don't believe that Kana and Kotaro are like these big followers of the cult of So, right? But I do believe that I think So caught Kotaro with those cards, and I think that's why Kotaro definitely is probably like working with So. And I do believe also at the time, as we saw here, it confirmed her suspicions, and confirmed what Kana said as well, she truly believed that Sara hated her. So she turned to the only person that she could trust to survive in this place, which is the one she trusted in the first game. So, or at least the one she followed in the first game, worked with in the first game. When she shook her hand in that moment, it was such an emotional kick to the stomach. Because you realize in these situations, like, and as you said, on the basic level, we understand how you can feel when you think you've upset someone and it hurts. But then you find out you didn't in the end and there's like this relief. For her, she genuinely thought that Sara would never want to look at her again. She extended her hand out and got a handshake, and she nearly bawled her eyes out because she realized in that moment, okay, Sara doesn't hate me. Which again, how could we? But from her perspective, all she thinks is, I betrayed Sara twice. But we have to look at it always from that perspective. if I was in her shoes and someone said, I can show you a text from your sister before she died. I just lost my sister a few days ago. You think I'm not going to take that? Most people would. We like to think we're stronger than that. We like to think we're better than that. Do you think you'd be able to resist? No. You wouldn't be. Right now, you're sitting, one of you who says, oh, I'd be able to resist, is sitting there in a chair right now, or on your bed, or whatever, watching this video. Thank you for watching the video. But, like, put yourself in Connor's shoes. How could I hate her? How could I? I vowed that I would look out for her 110%. The moment with what you call it, with So and the reconciliation, I shook his hand because I truly believe that even if like he's betraying us, like to me, like a handshake, I don't know, I never held values in handshakes in my life. You know what I mean? Never did, because me and my friends would always hug each other. You know what I mean? We'd always kiss on the cheek here or there. You know what I mean? What's a kiss on the cheek between bros? You know what I mean? But there never was really like handshakes, and I just like it's a courtesy when you're greeting someone. But like to me, like I don't put like a lot of like weight in it. I think it's just a symbol of reconciliation in this sense. But if he is betraying us, I don't see it as me being like, oh, I shook your hand. So it's like, yeah, like he probably is trying to be underhanded again in some ways. I don't see it as like putting a lot of weight on this. But in this situation, it's one of those things where like, it was better for everyone that we all read the laptop in that moment. It just was. Like, and we have so much information from that laptop, it just made sense in that moment. When we did shake So's hand, he had this like sharp like thing again, that almost like, you know, I don't think So is like legitimately like maybe looking at us like that. But I do think it is one of those things where, you know, when you like look at someone and you can kind of feel a feeling that they have towards you. Have you ever looked at someone who like legitimately just wants to kill you? Not literally, but like figuratively, it's just like, I hate this person, man. F this person. And they look at you and you're like, oh Jesus, what do I do to that person? I feel like that's what it is. It's almost like an intent to betray or intent to be like F you, like you suck. No, I mean that's a bad way to put it. It's like the intention in his eyes was like, still there was a bit of like a disdain towards Sara in some ways. And as I said, I think So's character, the reason why I think he has a disdain towards, I think So genuinely believes that we're not a good person. Like at first I thought he was just being like super manipulative. I think he still is. He's being manipulative, but I genuinely think that he thinks we suck. I genuinely think that he thinks that we actually are a part of all this. 100%. That laptop dropped so much information. Not only did we find out, like, let's summarize everything we found out for the laptop, just so I can get a good grasp on this. And if I forget some stuff, please remind me, right? 100%. Kai was an assassin, brought up to be an assassin, but wasn't very good at, didn't want to be an assassin. He then was hired to infiltrate the game, or infiltrate the family of the Chidoweeds, because Sara was going to be an important part of that game, which Kai said straight out, Sara, you are a big part of this. You are a massive part of this. Huge part, you know, and like tied to some. We thought this before, like we had this kind of inkling of that, but it makes sense now with our dad saying destiny, with Kai saying it outright, with us, with the organization basically saying that Sara needs to be part of this, with the characters screaming our names as he died. Like we are so tied to this. But as Kai said, we're also a victim in this situation as well, 100%. We also found out that Kai originally infiltrated the family and wasn't like a big fan of like the whole job. He didn't care about the family. But then over time, the love that was shown to him as being a member of the family from the father made him kind of appreciate the family so much that he fell in love with the family. And that's why he probably like, you know, found out Sarah's favorite food, like did all this stuff here. And as I said, he did all that clearly because he wanted to like make the family all happy, right? 110%. But I was just saying that like if Sara found this document randomly when he was still working in the house and was like, what is this? You know? Now you could say, well, if he's cooking and cleaning around the house, that makes sense that we have a list of people's favorite food as well, 110%. But it's one of those things where it's hard not to be like, ooh, that's a bit strange. But yeah, he was an assassin that didn't do a good job of being an assassin. He infiltrated the Chidoweeds as a way to watch over Sara for the time in which you had to go into the game. He ended up betraying the organization because he didn't want to hurt the Chidoweed family, and they showed him so much love, and all of a sudden he felt love for the first time in his life, and it made him feel alive for the first time in his freaking life. He believes Sarah's a part of this game for a reason, and she's one of the main focuses of this game, but he doesn't know exactly why she's a main focus in this game.
but he is like a main focus of the game. And not only that, but we now know that Ryoko and Joe were always meant to be part of the game, it seems, but Ryoko's not here, but Joe was put into the game as well. I think that kind of like summarizes a lot of like the main portions of that aspect of it, and what Kai was doing. And I think it's like one of those things where it's actually like a beautiful story in a way, where like an assassin is hired to look out for a family for their entire lives, to make sure that like, and it is horrible. Let's just be honest here, it's horrible. So that the daughter of the family can eventually be put into a death game. There's no way around it. It is invasive, disgusting, and horrible. But as I said, I do think Kai if he was brought up to be an assassin from a young age and is brought up to be a spy, he's had no life. He's had no love from his family. He's a victim in this situation too. And as soon as he got love from this other family, he just switched his mind where he's like, oh, this is awesome. This is what this feels like. I'm going with this. So he ended up like falling in love with this family and wanting to protect this family. He's such an interesting character in that sense, because the idea of like feeling alive and then all of a sudden like being like, I have to dedicate my life to protecting these characters. I really do. And even thanking Sara in the letter, being like, thank you so much for giving me like life, giving me a new lease on life. I never felt love and you gave me that. Your family gave me that. No wonder he would want to make sure Sara is protected no matter what. You know what I mean? No wonder, like, that's like, you can understand like a person who like grew up as an assassin and like a spy and was never treated fairly and never was given love, all of a sudden is given like a mountain of love. You can definitely feel why these how do I say it? Like, you can definitely feel why a character like that would psychologically, something would shift in their brain. Like, it was almost like a blockage where they blocked out that part where you could feel love and know what love is. It's kind of like, and this again, we always talk about the basic level of understanding for us as people, because we can never know what it's like to be an assassin who's put into a house to spy on people. But it's like, you know, have you ever like been in a friend group, or have you ever had a friend that kind of like, or a friend group that's kind of sucks, right? And I've heard this from friends all the time where they're like, before they come and like hang out with us or whatever, like, and or my friends or whatever. I've heard so many times where like not so many times, like once or twice, where people will be like, oh yeah, my old friends, like, you know, they never buy each other drinks or something like that. They never like, not that you have to, but you know what I mean? It's like little things like that where it's like, you have this realization that like life is different outside of your bubble. You know what I mean? Oh, life doesn't have to suck. People are actually nice in other places. And in this situation, it's one of those things where like the bubble popped and he's like, oh my God, this whole love thing feels amazing. This feels great. And that's what Kai's story was, which again is a really well-written story. We also had the stuff there with the soul scarf and this dead character. A character was dead and somehow revived. Now, the thing is, I was thinking now, just in between this, if you remember, was it Alice who said that they killed someone by the name of So? Was that correct, what they said there? I think it was Alice who said that the victim's name was So. And they also said here that a character has So's scarf. Now, a different look, by the way. They look different from So, was killed and then revived in some ways. I don't think that that's So, but I do think that like there is a connection where everyone seems to know him. And So ran to the bathroom like right away, right? This unnerved them. This like triggered something in their minds. So while I don't think that's So that we know here and now, there is something there to the scarf and to like the whole like everyone kind of reacting. I just know that Alice did say that he like killed someone named So, right? That was the name of the victim, if I remember correctly. Was it the end of chapter 2 he said that? Or chapter 1? I think. But yeah, there's something to do with that character there. Very creepy sprite. We're going to find out more about what's going to be happening with that too. But all we know is that So ran off and everyone has this like reaction, which again, this game's so good at like creating unnerving mysteries where it's like now with your skin's crawling and you're wondering what's going to happen next with the story all the time. One of the most realistic things happened in this whole story, which is Sara running after... running away to try and find tokens because she was given the sacrifice card. I mentioned it already in the video, so I don't have to go into detail on this, but like I just think it is like such a great character writing for your main character. You could have had her be a character that was kind of like, okay, like right away, because in the end she was like, I gotta save everyone. Fantastic. But first they had her have one of the most honest and real reactions ever, which is, why the hell would you do this to me after everything I've done? I've helped everybody. I'm always saving people. I'm always protecting people. Why me? And then, this game doesn't shy away from making its main character complicated in this sense. She ran to find Alice's body so that she could take the token of Alice's body. Is this something that Sarah would do normally outside of here? No. Is this something Sarah would have done 20 minutes ago? No. But this is what this game does, and it showcases it so well. Nobody's in the right mind already. But then she gets a card that Joe got that she knows what happened to Joe in the end, how Joe suffered. And everything comes back into her mind again. And she's thinking to herself, this is the worst, and it is the worst possible card you can get. She feels a chokehold on her. No matter what warmth she feels on her shoulders from KG, she feels a chokehold, and she runs to get those coins, those tokens. It's not morally good to go and rob the tokens off of body or Reiko's brother's body. Is it nice? No. Is it pleasant to think about? No, but it's real. She wasn't thinking about how it's going to make her look. She wasn't thinking about how it's going to make her feel afterwards. She wasn't going to be... Because you know what would happen? She would have taken those tokens. She would have been smiling and laughing. Oh my God, I can trade my card again. And she would have walked towards her room. She would have sat down. She would have lied down, closed her eyes, and then instantly went, what the hell did I just do? I'm not shaming someone for stealing a dead person's coins when they're in a desperate mode, but I'm saying that what she would have felt afterwards would have been an intense, oh my God, what did I just do? And that's why in this moment when Joe was coming to after us once again, it is a beautiful thing to have a character like Gin be the one to build our resolve up. And I think it's intentionally supposed to be like the youngest character having like the best perspective. Because they're not trying to, in this game, there's so many different age ranges. They're not trying to sit here and be like the wisest and the oldest. It's like everyone's going through something absolutely horrible here. Everyone's going through something horrific. So like him having this perspective of us because he looks up to us, because he adores us. And he knows Joe as well. Again, Joe was a good guy. And Gin as a kid, kids, especially like, I know like he's 12 or whatever, but that's a kid. They do recognize stuff like, and they kind of like can, I feel like in a lot of ways, they look for things on a very baseline, like emotional level sometimes where it's like, that dude's nice. This person's cool. You know what I mean? They don't think about the psychological aspects of like, oh, but what if he thought this way? I'm not saying 12-year-olds are dumb, but I'm saying like it's like, it's different, for every kid. But I think, he said the truth there is Joe would never want you to feel this way. This is not the real Joe you're thinking of, which is so freaking true. Because the Joe we know would never, ever, 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 ever want Sarah to feel pain or sadness. Ever. It's such an important moment for Gin. It's such a beautiful moment. Now we're going along with Gin and having like a journey with him too. Really powerful episode with very realistic emotions, as always. Guys, that's going to do it for this episode. And we're going to come back in the next one with more Your Turn to Die. If you want to see these videos early, you can see them on YouTube members and on Patreon for €1 or whatever it is in your currency. And that's the lowest tier of both Patreon and YouTube members. It's the lowest tier for the entire month. And yeah. And I believe it's €1 or whatever's in your currency, but I believe that like obviously the reason I say it's whatever in your currency is because I don't have to know how to do all the translations. Usually it's like might be like a whatever. Just check whatever's in your currency and you can check that out there as well. There's like multiple tiers there as well. If you want to see your name in the text credits that's going by right now, that is €10 or whatever is in your currency. And if you want to hear your name shouted out during every single video, that is €15 or whatever is in your currency. And I want to say thank you so much for everyone who became a patron. It's always been such a great thing to have you along for the ride. And I want to say thank you so much to my patrons of the highest tier first, that being Typharo 2, Jamie Bull, Johnny the Banana, The Ghost of Inazuma, Delicious Felix, Yuled, Anusta, Assassin, True Peanut Butter, Peter Shelson, Leon, Ike Kasparian, Neo Showerite, Leah 200, Malcolm Conde, and at the highest tier of my YouTube, Velasco and Lusanagi. See you guys so soon. Bye-bye.
「